Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to This Just In. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're going to go over the Xpeng stock. I wanted to give you my thoughts because they just posted record deliveries for the month of June. I also wanted to talk about the Xpeng stock price and where I see that going for the end of the year. So let's jump right in. All right, guys, before we get started today, subscribe to the channel for me. Hit that little bell so you get notified every time I post. There's also a link down in the description to my Patreon account. Come over and join the family. We've got an amazing community, bunch of like-minded individuals constantly trying to help each other. You'll get access to the private Discord where we talk stocks. You'll get links to 5 portfolios so you can see exactly what I invest into. And then anytime I buy or sell a stock, up to the second I do it, I send out a notification so you can follow along. I also send out high-value swing trade setups just like these. We've had a lot of winners lately. And then anytime I map a chart or I've got a watch list or I've got, some education or any type of investing tools, I send that out as well. So come over and check it out. I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. It is a great way to take your investing to the next level and have a family to do it with. Day One Squad, I love you guys so much. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. But guys, let's get started. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, Xpeng is definitely one of my favorite stocks. It is one of my biggest holdings. I've done very well with it. I originally got in clear back in like October, November in the very low 30s. And, I've held it ever since and continue to add to my position. Guys, they have been absolutely killing it. In this video, we're just going to talk about June deliveries and Q2 deliveries. I'm also going to give you my thoughts on why I see the Xpeng stock as potentially a better investment than the NIO stock right now, just because of where I see them going in the next few years from 2021 to 2025. If you do want to see another video where I go much further in depth on Xpeng, break down the company overall and all the fundamentals and everything, I will link that right here so you can go check that out and see for a more in-depth look at the company. Today, we'll just go over the deliveries in the stock chart. I'll give you my revised Xpeng stock price prediction for the end of 2021, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's get started. Guys, let's look at this here. So first thing I want to go over is the deliveries. Look at this, guys. In June, they had record deliveries at 6,565 vehicles, which was a 617% increase year over year. Now, that was also 15% increase month over month. Like we talked about in the last Xpeng stock video, where they grew 10% for their deliveries in May, I was saying if they can maintain that 10% month over month over month, that will be huge. Guys, they just bumped it to 15. Now, is that sustainable? I don't really know, but what I can tell you is in the beginning of the year, demand is low. You don't sell as many cars in the beginning of the year, Q1, Q2, that you sell in Q3 and Q4, especially Q4, October, November, December, because of the seasonality. So they really could continue to grow at 15% month over month till the end of the year, which would be massive for the Xpeng stock price. Guys, you got to think about it like this. They have ran for the last 48, 50 days. They've recently started pulling back. The stock was doing very well. Once the market kind of turned around, the FUD kind of went away. Now, what's going to happen over the next 6 months when the stock really starts doing well? Because Xpeng's deliveries are continuously doing well. Guys, I am so bullish on this stock. I think they are going to absolutely kill it. So, but I mean, the 617% increase is impressive. Don't get me wrong. But when you're coming off 916 vehicles, it's not that impressive. I am much more entertained by the 15% month over month. Now, the total deliveries for Q2, so January till the end of June, were 30,738 vehicles. Guys, in Q2, that only put Xpeng shy 4,000 deliveries from NIO. That is very, very impressive. That is a testament right there to how well Xpeng navigated that quote-unquote chip shortage. They did very well because they were not that close to NIO at the beginning of the year. So Xpeng is doing very well getting deliveries out there, getting a pent-up demand for their P7. It really shows how they are hitting that younger tech-centric demographic in China so well, and I think that is going to be a huge strong point for them moving forward. Now that 30,000 in Q2 for the first half of 2021 was a 459% increase year over year. Again, coming off 5,000, 499 vehicles. Not that impressive, but nonetheless, still, doing well there. So they did a new quarterly record, a new monthly record, and a new year-to-date record. So breaking records month, quarter, and year over year. So doing very well, guys. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick, the deliveries consisted of 4,730 P7s, which was, obviously record for the P7 since they released it. And then 1,835 G3s, which is their smart compact SUV. So those deliveries were quite a bit less, but nonetheless, still doing well. The other thing I wanted to mention, guys, is they still have plans to launch 2 new vehicles this year. They're actually launching the G3i this month, and they plan to start deliveries in September. And then they're launching the P5 in September or Q3 and plan to start deliveries in Q4. So not only are they doing really well with the deliveries, they also are releasing new vehicles, which will obviously be a catalyst for the stock as well. So a lot of big things coming for Xpeng, guys. A couple of things here. Like I said, they're only 4,000 deliveries shy of NIO as of Q2. Guys, there's 3 things that I think are really going to position Xpeng to be NIO's biggest competitor or really be a thorn in NIO's side and could potentially even get right there next to him, even pass him. I don't even want to say that because I know I'll get torn to shreds by the NIO fans. But guys, let me give you them. First thing is technology. Their technology is far superior than NIO's, much more, comparable to like a Tesla. Their R&D department with 40% of their staff in the R&D is just absurdly impressive because they're going to continuously stay ahead of that technology with those over-the-air updates like we've talked about and optimize that software part of their business, which is going to be extremely high margin to drive higher, revenues and increase their bottom line. So insanely, important to recognize how far ahead they are in the technology aspect. That's why they call it the smart EV. The second thing, guys, is capacity. Look at how they navigated the chip shortage. They also have those 3 facilities that they are opening up. Well, 2 new ones, so they will have 3 total. Now, by 2025, their annual capacity will be 450,000 vehicles annually when all 3 of those facilities are opened up and running, efficiently. They're also backed by the government on those facilities, the one in Wuhan. So guys, they own their manufacturing. NIO does not. NIO still outsources their manufacturing, which puts them in a position where they rely on someone else for quality and costs and margins and all of these other things. Where Xpeng actually owns their production, they control all of that, which is a huge competitive advantage in my opinion. The last and final thing is international expansion. Guys, Xpeng was the first one to move out to Norway and Europe. NIO followed, don't get me wrong, and I just saw an article this morning that NIO plans to have 4,000 battery swapping stations out there in Europe, but Xpeng got there first. So I'm not saying that Xpeng is going to go over there and sell more vehicles, but what I am saying is as they expand, NIO better get that $31,000 vehicle out to market as soon as possible, because as Xpeng starts to move around the world with a cheaper vehicle, with more technology, they get, more capacity and more manufacturing. That's going to be hard for NIO to keep them far enough behind, to make it comfortable. So again, guys, I just see Xpeng drastically catching NIO over the next couple of years. I actually predict that by 2025 or sooner, Xpeng will be matching NIO's deliveries right around 300,000 units a year. That's my prediction. You can take it with what you want, but I do see that happening, and I actually think I see Xpeng's stock price appreciating faster than NIO's stock price. That's why I'm going with Xpeng. That's why it's my bigger holding other than NIO. I still think NIO's going to do great. I still own the stock, but because of those reasons, I think Xpeng's stock price will appreciate faster and more when it comes to percentage gains. So next thing I wanted to go over real quick before we jump in and take a look at the chart was Xpeng actually raised their full year guidance. They did have it down to 57.5 thousand and they raised it to anywhere between 65.5 thousand to 67.5 thousand deliveries for the full year 2021. Again, guys, they still have the strong demand that's going to come in Q3 and Q4 with those new vehicles that they're releasing. I see a lot of great things in Xpeng's near distant future, and I think the stock price will, really get a boost from that and appreciate nicely. Last and final thing I wanted to show you before we look at the chart, guys. So as you can see here, Xpeng, they are being listed on the exchange, the composite index over there in China. After they did that dual listing, they're getting added to the blue chip index, which makes them the first smart EV company in the world that is listed on both exchanges, the one here in the United States as well as the one in China. So just cool fact I wanted to throw out there for you guys. Now let's take a look at the chart. All right, guys, we've looked at this chart before. I don't know if you guys remember the video where we identified this big bullish Bartley pattern, but beautiful stock, beautiful pattern, ran up to its high 74% or $74 and then retraced 90% of its value all the way down to that critical inflection point from inception, clear back in September. Guys, when an asset does that, we've already looked at it before, but I'll show you again. Just look at this. It appreciated over 100% in value. So it doubled in 49 days. Guys, when you get these big harmonics like this and you get these big, structures and you get these assets down at low risk, deep value perceived areas, you get that reaction low, you get that confirmation low with bullish divergence on the RSI and the MACD. It ushers in those big relief rallies like that, and assets appreciate or they double in 48 days. Guys, that is insane. It has since pulled back and it is now coming back to retest or back test this critical inflection point where it has been rejected and held support in the past. To confirm it, that once was resistance is certainly now support. So I think once we get that confirmation that that area is clearly support, we will see the stock run up to the $60 price point. We come up, we back test this area, we're going to 73 real quick. My price target originally was the $72 for the stock, 69 to 72 by the end of 2021. I'm actually going to increase that to 78 to $81 by the end of 2021 because they raised their guidance, and I do think investors will reward them for that. Overall, guys, I think the price is a little up there right now. I would like to see it pull back just a little bit more if you do not currently own it. But overall, it could easily hold this, confirm it as support, and keep on pushing up, especially when you look at the 4-hour, guys, because we are getting this this dragon pattern technically, which if you don't know what that is, it looks something like this. This is just a rough drawing, but, then you've got your tail like that. Just a W formation essentially. So very well you could get the aggressive price targeting up here at that $56-$60 range, which is where I actually think it's going to go. If you don't hold this level, you're going to drop back to the bottom of the range at that $25 range. That's what's going to happen. You can see here you had that double top, you had that sell off to get that confirmation low in. So if you don't hold this area, that's where I think you're going because you don't really have anything in the middle. But I do see it holding this area, and it could just keep moving, and you could really not ever see that price point again, or not see it for a significant amount of time. Because once you back test this area, if it can break up through these levels, I think with how well their deliveries are going, the stock price will continue to do well like that for years and months to come. One other thing I wanted to point out, guys, is back on the daily. You can see here that we had the highest level of positive momentum on the MACD in June, the beginning of June, that we had since clear back here in November, which is very good to see. Same type of thing with the RSI, highest level of overbought back here in the beginning of June that we had since November. So overall, guys, the stock looks incredible. I love Xpeng. Anything under 40. In reality, if you don't earn it, I would like to see an average cost mid 30s to low 30s, but you may never get that chance. I added a ton of shares down here at 24 because I absolutely couldn't believe it got to that price. But guys, I plan on holding this stock for the long term. This is definitely one of my highest conviction plays. I think they are going to do very, very well. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed stockbroker. Always do your own research and due diligence. Don't just take my word for it. If you like the video, if you like the Xpeng stock, let me know down in the comments. If you've got a price prediction for it, I would love to hear it and talk with you about it. But come over and join us at the Patreon if you want to be part of an amazing family. Like the video if you get any value out of it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.